How many farms could I build in one episode? I need a ton of materials to start this mega base. And to get the materials, the best way to do it is farmage. That's right. And the main farm that I need is a wood farm for the cherry wood. I have never made a wood farm before, a tree farm, whatever you call it. I have never made one. I have seen many different styles on YouTube, so I don't know which one to choose. And with the cherry trees, you need a 5x5 space for them to actually grow. So some farms are not good for that. But I guess I'll find one or convert one or change one or something. In my understanding of tree farms, you need a ton of bone meal, and the bone meal is easy to gather in many different ways. And the majority of the farms I want to build are going to be built underneath our platform. But this is not really an ideal place for farms because, well, it's too bumpy and uneven. So first, I'm going to have to flatten all this out. And don't worry, I'm not going to let you sit here and watch me digging the floor up. So I'll bring you back once it's done. And there's me thinking it would only take a little bit. It took almost all day in real life to mine all this out. And I still want to extend it. The good thing is we have plenty of materials so we can actually finish closing this off and merging it with the mountain. And plus, look at all this. We did use a beacon, otherwise I'd probably still be mining it. So, thank you very much for the beacon shop. But I think we have enough space to put the farms that we want to do. And the first farm I want to do is a cactus farm. So I'm probably going to build it in this corner and continue doing things in the corner and then just gradually move out because I want this whole entire area full, and I mean full, of farms. So with the cactus farm, I've only got a certain amount of cactus, so I'm just going to do one layer for now and have a collection part at the bottom. And as I get more, I'll add more layers to it. And we're going to go as high as the ceiling. So let me quickly get that done. Simple cactus farm. I'm assuming everyone knows how these work because they are very old farms. Basically, they break, as you can see, fall into the pit of water, and then they just fall in here. And down here is the collection system. We've got 19. I've only just finished the farm. And eventually that chest will be a composter so we can get all the bone meal that we need for the other farms. But for now, I want to collect some more so then I could do another layer on top of that, and so on until we get to the top. And I am going to decorate this area. I'm not going to leave it like this because it does look very ugly. But I just want to get the majority of the farms in that we want before decorating it. And plus, I don't have a design or anything for this area. We might get a couple of losses because I haven't put anything here to block it. Eventually, there'll be a glass wall here and one over there. Okay, I've managed to do all the layers to fit in here. I didn't really have enough space at the top to do that, but it doesn't matter. We have enough. And I just decorated the edges with this new bamboo block. I'm not really a fan, to be honest, but this farm is now complete. Okay, the next farm we're going to do involves some redstone. That's right. We are going to be doing a kelp farm. And I'm going to build it right here. It's going to be as tall as this. Probably not as wide as this. And it's probably going to come to about this, I'd say. I don't want to make a giant one because my base will be on top of this and I don't want to cause lag. So let me get the materials ready and we'll make a start on this bad boy. All the materials I need are in this chest. So let's get building. Okay, I have done 2 modules of the kelp farm. It's a very easy farm. Again, I'm assuming everyone knows how these work. I have set up so only one piston fires off when one kelp fires off, just to reduce the lag. The last thing I want is for this place to be a very laggy place. So I think I can fit another 2 of these on top of it. So let's build one together. So all these farms are going to have one point of collection at the bottom, so they're all hooked up. So we just put our hoppers right here. And you don't need to put lights because kelp actually grows in the dark. So that's a good thing, at least, but I kind of want to see it. So I put that at the bottom because this needs to be elevated by 1, otherwise it would destroy the kelp completely. And then we get our observers. First of all, we need to make a platform. Probably, there we go. That's better. Put a torch down there. I don't want any mobs spawning there. Got some observer action. We just put the redstone here. We put the blocks up here like this. So then this, one of these will only fire one of these instead of the whole line of pistons. And I've just put a couple of hoppers up here like that, just so we can hook the next one. And we get a bit of glass action in here, so we have a nice window so we can see that this is actually working. I've got 20 buckets of water. We'll put it right there, so then when the kelp is broken, it comes up, follows the flow of the water and straight into the hopper. Very simple. And there it is, pretty much done. Very simple. So if you don't know much about redstone, I mean, you don't really need to know a lot anyway. It's so simple. Leave a gap here for the next one. I have to admit, this is the second version of this farm that I did, because I just built one that went up to the roof and it only had one section here, because kelp can grow up to 25 blocks, 25, 26 blocks high, and the farm was 20 blocks high, but the kelp was taking way too long to get to the top for it to actually work, because I kind of wanted one big group of kelp to then come down, and then, you know, we'll get a little bit more bone meal, but it just wasn't working fast enough. So I just shrunk it down and done the little columns here, which is going to work for our benefit, really. What I'm going to do is just do one more, and then this farm will be all finished. Right, my very ugly but effective kelp farm is now running. We didn't have enough space to put one at the top, but it's okay for now. And our little collection system here, 21, is fairly slow. But because this one and this one produces bone meal, I do want to hook these guys up. And then eventually there'll be a storage system above us. So they'll be hooked up, bubble elevator, straight up into the storage system. Words! And then we don't really have to come down here. So farm 2, complete. The next farm I want to do is a bamboo farm. And the bamboo farm is going to be right here. And it is pretty much exactly the same layout as this. The farm that I'm going to do anyway, I have done one with flying machines before, but they can become very laggy once it fires off. So much entities all at once. I don't want it for this area. So I'm just going to do a small one. And the reason why I want a bamboo farm is because of these boys right next to me. I'm not a fan of the bamboo block itself, but now we can craft as many chests as we want. So we got the other wood types to use for building. I'm just going to crack on with the build. You don't really need to see it because it is basically this same design minus the water. And while I'm at it, I might as well do the sugarcane farm because, again, it's the same. All the same. So let's get cracking. I can't build it right now. I've only got 14 redstone left. So, to the mines. I don't actually have a mine location in this area, so I'm just going to make one here. And I do have to be careful because there is an ancient city around this area somewhere. And I know that Callie has claimed it for her base. So I'm probably going to mine behind me. Okay, I'll bring you back once I've got redstone. And now we have a bamboo farm and we have a sugarcane farm. I was going to make this one smaller so then just have the observer on top of the piston, but I thought bamboo grows up to 12 to 16 blocks high and I didn't want this firing off every couple of minutes or so because this does grow pretty quick. I mean, look, it's only just broken it off and this one's already 4 blocks high. It's been running a fair while, so we've got a fair amount anyway. So if I was to build a massive bamboo farm, I'll probably have more bamboo than what I could do with. So this is good enough. And if I do need a little bit more, then I'll just mirror it basically. So yeah, if I was to do another one, it'll just go right here, I guess. And we have the sugarcane farm, which I have just finished. I was just going to do one section, but then I thought this is basically what I did in season 2 inside the robot. Well, there was 4 sides, so there was one here, and it towered up as tall as the robot. And I thought I like that idea. So, and plus when we get our rockets, well, our elytra, we would definitely need more of this stuff. And as you can hear, we do have a minecart underneath, just picking it all up. And as you probably saw in the time lapse, I did put the piston at the bottom, and I was thinking, hang on a minute, this doesn't look right. So I elevated it and put the frog lights in there because this does need light as well as this to grow. But these two don't, as you already know. So yes, Farm 3 and Farm 4 complete. They do look very ugly and I did have a ton of cobblestone left, so obviously I used that for the frames. But when we come to decorating this area, they will look so much better. And I'm kind of thinking blackstone down here. I want to make it kind of doom and gloomy, but illuminated by the frog lights. I have gone to that village over in that direction and I have rescued some of these guys. Hello, Mr. and Mr. Or Mr. and Mrs. It's hard to tell with villagers. So I am going to build a villager breeder at some point, but I probably won't do that right now. I don't have a space for them right now because I'm living in a hole. Until we get our mega base sorted, well, some of it at least, they will continue to live in the boats. The one farm that I want more than anything is the tree farm, and I don't know how to make one. I have never made one. I think I mentioned this before in the early part of this episode. But I have been on YouTube and I've looked at 100 different types of tree farms and I don't know which one to choose. And they all look so difficult. Ideally, I would like to make one myself, my own design, but yeah, I'm probably going to have to go into a test world to test how they work. And the majority of them using duplicators for TNT. And I'm not the biggest fan of doing that, but needs must. And while I figure out what kind of tree farm I want to build, I'm going to the Nether to build a basalt farm. Because we need basalt. Okay, we're underneath the Froglight farm, and I'm going to build this basalt farm right here. Because why not? So this farm is very simple, as you probably know already. So we put this here and that there. There we get a bit of this action. Excellent. And then we just do that. Observers. Bum 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 bum. Excellent. Right, that's all working. I don't want to hear that right now, so then we just tidy it up a little bit. First, I'm going to put that there and this here, so it only pushes one. So then I won't break this block very easily. So as soon as the basalt comes, bum 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 bum. Excellent. I'm going to put a chest here, like so. And one of these bad boys. Boom. We just dress it up a little bit. Make it look a little bit nicer. Now the magic sauce. But before doing any of that, I need to make this spawn proof. Let's just whack a load of slabs all over this. Can they spawn on here? I'm not taking any chances. Simple but effective. Right, let's put the repeater back. Don't have to put a repeater here. You could just put a bit of redstone. Works just as well, but I had one in my pocket. Plus, I've only got 11 redstone pieces left, so my farmage is over for this episode, I guess. For my mega base, I will be using a lot of basalt, so I will be spending a lot of time here. Oh dear. Farm number 5. Complete. So, 5 farms in 1 episode. I think that's pretty good. And plus, we mined out all this as well for the farms. And this is going to be the end of this episode. But for me, right now, I'm going to meet up with the rest of the Metacrafters because it is end time. Dragon time. That's right. So tune in for the next episode. Will we die or will we succeed? Or a mixture of both? Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to hit that like button. Until next time, take care.